All right. And we'll go ahead today and begin in, we'll actually begin on our backs. So find a comfortable position. Your legs can be stretched long, or if you prefer to have your feet on the ground and drop your knees inward, whichever works best for you. But start to deepen your breath. Bringing your breath in and out through your nose. Let your body start to soften onto the space beneath you. Start to take a mental scan, following your breath as it comes in through your nose. Take a mental scan of your body starting from your throat, feeling your breath shift into your shoulders, into your midsection. Start to notice your awareness into your hip space, to your upper legs. Reaching down towards your ankles and your toes. Slowly retracing back up towards your torso. Back to your heart space. And down your arms towards your elbows, wrists and fingers. Trace your breath and your awareness back across your forearms, across your upper arm, into your heart space. Take a moment for a couple deeper breaths. Notice the rise and fall of your breath, your chest. And slowly bring the awareness back into the space behind your eyes, between your ears. And slowly rock your chin from side to side. Start moving our spines from the top. You can pause at any point in the stretch to hold it a little longer. But be curious about where you feel the stretch within your spine and any other places. And as you're ready, bring your chin back to center. Now bring your knees in towards your chest and rock them over to the side, either side. Gaze to the opposite direction. Bring your knees back to center and drop them the other way. Gaze to the opposite direction of your knees. And continue to take this motion a couple more times, going at your own pace, starting to bring that stretch into your center. Notice where you feel it in your spine, maybe in your hips. Once again, you can pause at any moment as you're stretching to help deepen the stretch or focus on where you're feeling it. Starting to move to wake up our bodies. After a night of sleep, our spine in particular, the fluid drains to one side often. So waking that back up, moving it around. As you're ready, bring your knees back to center. Hug them in towards your chest. Feel compression of your hip flexors. And then extend your legs long. Notice your core and then rest your legs onto the ground. Once again, use your core, pull your knees back into your chest. Hug them tight. And then extend your legs long. You can always tap your heels to the ground with your knees bent if that feels better. Starting to warm up your core. A couple more times. Lengthen and then pull your knees in. And on this next time, squeeze your knees in towards your chest, lift your forehead towards your knees, take a deep breath in. Exhale out. And take a happy baby. Come to have your entire spine on your mat. Grab the backs of your knees or the outsides of your ankles. Maybe rock side to side. Take any moments or extra movements that might feel nice. Maybe bringing the soles of your feet together. Butterfly pose, pushing your knees out. Start to notice where it feels good to stretch in your body. And know that each posture that we walk through is just a guide. You can shift it into ways that work best for you. Bring your knees back to center and drop them over to the side and slowly come up to a comfortable seated position. Now extend your legs out to the sides. Lift your arms up overhead and then extend your arms out to the front. Feel a deep stretch through the back of your legs. Lift your chest, and as you exhale, slowly walk your hands forward. Pause for a moment. Inhale, lift and lengthen through your spine. Exhale, softly lower. Pause wherever it feels nice for you. Just rest and settle into the posture. Notice your breath. Notice how your body's feeling. Continue to come back to both your breath and the sensations within your body. Notice where you might need additional stretches. Continue to be kind to yourself throughout your practice. Walk your hands back towards your hips and then find a twist with your torso over to the left, placing your right hand outside your left leg. Come to the opposite side. Plant firmly through your seat. One more time each side. Final time. And then come back to center. Bring your knees back together. We'll find tabletop pose. Bring your knees under your hips, palms under your shoulders. Find a few rounds of cat and cow. Inhale, drop your belly, gaze up, lift your tailbone. Exhale, arch your spine. Create space from the back of your neck to the base of your tailbone. Continue to take deep breaths and find cat and cow. Inhales, drop your belly. Exhale, arch your spine. You can add on any additional movements that might feel nice in your body. Maybe sweeping your hips towards your heels. Starting to warm up your body. And then come to a neutral spine. Thread the needle, sweep your right arm up, take a few circles, and then swing your right arm under your left. We're going to come straight back into that arm reaching overhead and sweep it under. Resting your shoulder for a second and then sweep it back up. Use your core to help move your upper body with intention. Reach your right arm through, then sweep it up. One more time. And then rest in your threaded needle, resting your right shoulder to the ground, your right ear. Notice where you can soften your hips back. You can extend your left fingertips forward or place your hand on your low back. Place your left palm under your shoulder, sweep your right arm up. A couple more circles. And find tabletop pose. We'll come to the opposite side, left arm up. Find some movement with your shoulder and then thread the needle. Hold it for a second and sweep it back up. Thread it through. And continue here on your own breath a couple more times. As you inhale, reach your left arm up. Exhale, thread it through. So as we use our breath to link our breath to movement, it helps deepen the posture. So as you exhale, it helps you deepen the twist and reach further. And as you inhale, it helps open up your side. One more time and we'll hold it and thread the needle. Left ear to the ground, right arm can be forward or on your back. Continue to breathe. Notice where you're holding on to tension. See if you can draw your breath into that area to help soften onto the ground. Right arm comes under your shoulder. Sweep your left arm up, take a few circles, and tabletop pose. Tuck your toes under and lift your hips up. Find downward facing dog, pedal it out. Settle in for our first dog of practice. Sway your hips. Notice your shoulders, push them towards your legs. Keep them even with one another as much as possible. And then reach one heel towards the ground and then the other. Feel a stretch throughout your Achilles and your heel or your ankle. A couple more times each side. And then sweep your right foot up and bring it to the top of your mat. Drop your back knee. Find a low crescent lunge with your back knee onto the ground. Sweep your arms overhead, torsos above your hips. Take a moment to lower and lift your hips slightly. Notice the muscles within your hips. And now plant your palms to either side of your right foot. We're going to come into a half pigeon here and hold for a couple breaths. So walk your right foot over to the left side of your mat so that your shin is across your mat. Your foot can be anywhere in between your left hip and your left wrist. So if you have tighter hips, you'll want to bring your heel towards your hip. That feels best in my body. And then start to just sway gently side to side. Notice how your hip is feeling. If this feels really intense, you can always come to your back, or you can come to your right seat and take a Z sit by placing your left leg to the ground, bending your left knee so that your legs are in more of a Z shape. And continue to lean forward. Couple more breaths. So often when we have back pain, it comes from our hips. Our hips are really prone to being very tight, and they can affect other parts in our bodies. So helping stretch your hips can get into other spots. As we come out, bring your palms back to the ground, and we'll come back into a downward facing dog. So tuck your back toes under, kick your right leg back, extend into a three-legged dog, and then rest your right foot down. Pedal it out. Swapping to the other side, lift your left leg up and find a low lunge. Step your left foot to the top of your mat, drop your back knee, lift your torso. Take a moment to settle in here. Lower and lift your hips. As you soften your hips towards the ground, notice a stretch, and then activate through your glutes and through the inner upper leg to lift your hips slightly. Be curious about the muscle groups that you feel. Now plant your hands to the ground, and we'll take a half pigeon here, drawing your left foot to the right side of your mat. Knee settles down, and then slowly lower if that's in your practice. Rock your hips side to side. Once again, option for that Z sit by bending your right knee, bringing your right leg to your left foot. Continue to deepen your breath. We're here for 2 more. Place your palms to the ground. Find a three-legged down dog. Lift your hips, kick your left foot up, and find downward facing dog. Gaze forward, step your feet behind your wrists, take a ragdoll pose. Feet are hip width distance or wider. And release your hands down, bring your feet together, tuck your chin and rise to standing. Bring your arms overhead, take a back bend, squeeze your glutes, push your hips forward and lift your chest. Inhale, mountain pose. Couple more times, gentle back bend. Inhale, lift your fingertips. Exhale, back bend. Cactus your arms. You can place your hands on your low back, whichever feels best. On your inhales, rise back to standing. Exhale, gentle back bend. Inhales, lift. Exhale, bend. One more time, rise up. Exhale. Inhale, mountain pose, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands through your heart center. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze to the ground. Exhale, plant your palms. Step your feet back into a high plank. Hold for a breath. And downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale, sweep your right toes high. Exhale, low lunge. We'll come into warrior one. Drop your back heel to the ground. Inhale, lift your torso. Exhale, plant your palms to the ground. Step it back, high plank. Down dog. Breath in. Exhale. Inhale, left foot high. Exhale, low lunge. Drop your back heel. Warrior one on the opposite side as you inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, plant your palms. High plank. Breath in. Exhale, down dog. We'll flow through 2 more times on each side. You can take this at your own pace, but I'll continue to guide as well. Inhale, right toes up. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, warrior one, drop your back heel, rise up. Exhale, plant your palms, step it back, flow however you want to get, flow through, and we'll meet in down dog. Inhale, left heel up, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge, or warrior one with your heel down. And plant your palms, step it back. Downward facing dog is where we'll meet. Final time, inhale, right leg up. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, palms down. Step it back, flow through, downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel up, final time. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, plant your palms. Step your left foot back, hold in a high plank for a breath. And then we'll all lower together halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, flip to the tops of your feet, gaze forward. And exhale, drop your knees, send your hips back, find a child's pose. Take a couple breaths here. Notice your connection with the ground, how it supports you. And then just allow your body to soften, deepen into your child's pose. On your next inhale, shift forward into a tabletop pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips. We'll continue to move on. Inhale, sweep your right foot high. Exhale, pull your right knee in towards your chest. Hold it here. Three-legged down dog. Right leg lifts up. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Hold it here or find fallen star by kicking your right foot out to the side. An option to lift your left arm. Drop to your back heel. Plant your right palm, three-legged down dog, right leg up. Low lunge, step your right foot to the top of your mat. Take a twist here, plant your left palm, sweep your right arm up. Hold for a couple breaths. Option to keep your back heel lifted, or if you want a different stretch through your hips, rotate to the outside of both of your feet. Continue to breathe. Bring both hands back to the ground, back heel lifted, warrior or crescent lunge. Lift your chest, keep your back heel lifted this time. And find warrior two. Drop your back heel, take a couple breaths. Set it up, find heel to arch alignment with your right foot connected in one straight line to your back foot. Arms extend. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach your right arm up. And then bring your right elbow towards your right knee, tap it for a second, lift back up, reverse warrior. Now follow your breath. As you exhale, lower your right elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale. Two more. Use your core. Final time. Inhale, reverse warrior. And now plant your palms to either side of your right foot, step it back, flow through. Maybe you take a chaturanga. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your left foot up. Exhale, left knee into your chest. Use your core. Inhale, three-legged dog, left leg up. And left knee, right elbow. Hold it in. Stay here or come into fallen star by kicking your left leg out. Lift your hips, lift your arm. Plant your right palm, three-legged down dog, left leg up. Low lunge. Rise into crescent, arms overhead as you inhale. Take a breath. And open up into warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. As you exhale, bring your left elbow to your knee. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, draw it forward. Couple more times on your own breath. Final time. Find reverse warrior. And now plant your palms. We're going to catch the stretch now on this opposite side. So find a low lunge and stay here for a second. And then twist. Lift your left arm up. You can stay here or rock to the outsides of your feet. Keep breathing. Low lunge, both hands to the ground. Kick your left leg back. Find downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Breath out. Gaze forward. Step or walk your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen from the top of your head to your tailbone. And release, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, rise up. Chair pose, drop your seat. Keep your arms overhead or you can bring them to your heart center. Rock into your heels. Send your chest forward and breathe. One more breath, sink an inch. Inhale, mountain pose, rise up. Exhale, twist here. Sweep your right arm back, left arm forward. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, twist opposite side. Keep your hips facing forward. One more time each side, mountain pose. Exhale, twist. Come back up to center. Release into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back. Flow through, or you can hold a high plank and push back into downward facing dog, whatever feels best. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, twist. Right arm up. Hold for a breath. And right arm sweeps down. Find crescent lunge, arms overhead. And this time we're going to launch off. So start to bring a bend into your back knee. And we'll find airplane pose. So kick off your back leg. Extend your arms back. Gaze down. And breathe. Reach your fingertips back. Draw your shoulder blades together. Now bring your hands to your heart center. And we'll take a Shiva squat. So bring your left knee to the outside of your right leg. And then kick it back. Here for just a few. As you exhale, bend your knee. Bring it to the outside of your right leg. Kick it back. Two more. And now bend your knee once more. We're going to bring it to the ground this time, to the outside of your right ankle. And then come to a seat. We're going to take a twist. So settle your feet however it feels best. You can keep your right leg up and over your left leg, or if it feels best to extend your left leg, that's a great option. So wherever you are, bring both sit bones to the ground, lift your chest, We're going to twist towards your right knee, towards that top leg. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, twist. Notice where you're holding on to any tension and see if you can bring your breath into those spaces to help soften. Bring your chest back to center and then slowly lean it forward. Notice the shift of muscle groups where you're feeling the stretch. And we'll slowly come back out. Place your hands to the top of your mat. We're going to unravel to find both feet at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Mountain pose, rise all the way up. Exhale, back bend. Mountain pose, reach your fingertips high. Exhale, low lunge or forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And this time, step your feet to the wide edges of your mat. Toes are off your mat, heels are on. Take a yogi squat. Drop your hips in between your seat, in between your legs. And then bring your hands to your heart center. Use your elbows to push your knees outward. You can always use a block or a pillow underneath your seat. And plant your palms to the ground. Option 2, stay here in a seat that works for you. Or if you'd like to test out crow pose, bring your palms shoulder width distance apart, about a foot in front of you. Spread your fingertips, and then start to lift your hips, bend your elbows, and bring your knees on top of your upper arm. So your upper arm acts as the shelf, and start to walk your toes towards one another. And then gaze at about a foot in front of your fingertips. Start to lean forward, maybe lifting one foot, maybe the other foot. Take a moment to play around with it. And as you're ready, we're going to come and find a downward facing dog. Step your feet back, find a high plank. Downward facing dog. Breath in and breath out. Inhale, left foot high. Exhale, low lunge. Rise into crescent, arms overhead. Bend your back knee. Launch off into airplane pose. Kick off your back foot. Chest faces the ground. Reach. Strong and steady through your left leg. Keep breathing. Bring your hands to your heart. Shiva squat. Bend your left knee. Bring your right knee outside of your left leg. Kick it back and lower. Steady, move with intention. 2 more times. Nice. Now bring your knee to the outside of your left leg. Slowly lower your right knee to the ground. Rock onto your seat. And we'll find our seated twist. Once again, you can always kick your right leg out front this time. Wherever you are, both sit bones to the ground, lift your chest and twist left. Find an active recovery as you inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, twist. And then bring your chest to face forward. Walk your hands out front. Walk your hands back. Find your shoulders above your hips. We're going to unravel and come into a tabletop pose. Unravel your feet. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips, find downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your right foot up. Exhale, low lunge. Final time, drop your back knee, lift your arms overhead. And plant your palms, send your hips back. Feel a stretch across the back of your right leg. Shift forward, tuck your back toes, kick it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot up. Exhale, low lunge. And I forgot to get the twist on the other time. So twist, lift your left arm for a breath. Bring it back down. Drop your back knee to the mat, untuck your toes, lift your torso. And now place your hands to the ground, send your hips back. Breathe here. And then shift forward, tuck your back toes under, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Bring your knees to the ground. We'll take a camel pose. Chest is above your legs. Place your hands to your low back on your imaginary pant pockets. Lift your chest and start to bring your gaze up towards the ceiling in one straight line. So keep your neck and spine stable by just drawing one straight line across the wall in front of you towards the ceiling, hands on your low back. Find a back bend. If you feel comfortable here and you feel like you can reach your heels, then place your hands onto your heels. Continue to have that straight line gaze and breathe. Push your hips forward. Bring the bend out of your low back and into your upper back. And then we'll start to come out the way that we came in. Place your hands on your low back. Rise up and place your hips to your heels. Close your eyes and take a couple breaths. Notice what you notice within your body. How are you feeling? What are you feeling? As you're ready, you can stay here as long as you need. Otherwise, take a tabletop pose, tuck your toes under. We'll find our final downward facing dog. As you're ready, step your feet to the top, come to a seat and rock onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest. And we'll take a butterfly pose on your back. So bring the soles of your feet together, grab your ankles. Always an option to take happy baby by grabbing the backs of your legs. Whatever feels best for you. Find a gentle rock side to side. And then hug your knees in towards your chest and drop your knees to the left. If you want a deeper stretch, you can cross your right leg over your left. Maybe shimmy your hip towards the center of your mat. Notice your shoulder blades connected with the ground and then gaze to the right. Bring your knees to center and unravel them and then drop them to the right. Once again, settle your shoulder blades onto the ground and gaze left. Bring your knees back to center. If you want to take any final stretch, feel free to do so now. Otherwise, we'll start coming into Shavasana for the final minutes. Take a happy baby pose. And then bring your knees to your heart center. Give them a squeeze. Lift your forehead up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release. Final Shavasana. Extend your legs. Soften your arms and shoulders onto the ground. And just be for these final moments. I'll cue you out when the time is right. Start to deepen your breath. Rock your chin from side to side. And extend your arms overhead. Bend your knees. And then drop them to either side, finding fetal position, resting your ear on your bicep. Slowly push up into a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to your heart center. Take a moment to acknowledge your practice, your body, your mindset. And recognize all that your body did for you today in this moment. And let it stand as a base for the rest of your day. Bring your thumbs to your third eye center. And namaste.
Namaste, Marty. Have a great rest of your day.
Namaste. Thanks so much. Glad to have you both joining.
Glad to have you back.
Yeah.
I was worried. I thought, if I'm the only one, are they going to get rid of this class? I hope not. Asha, it's nice to see you here too. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. See you.